everybody, it is Sunday the something of October. I ain't even sure what date we're on anymore. Yeah, I've had my hair cut. It looked better than this when I had it done. It never goes right for me when I have it done. So I'm just doing bits of updates from when I was on last. And Troy went back to school on the Wednesday, and I think it was 10:10 maybe. We got a phone call from school saying he's still not well. And I thought, oh my Lord. And he'd only just gone back. Sorry, I'm watching Kitten playing. He'd said he was tired, and they have this like space room for them, which the teachers watch them, and they have like little pillows and, or what they're called, weighted blankets, etc. But he would not settle, and they took him back to class, and he threw himself on the floor and would not move. So we picked him up, and it were his ears again, and his ulcers. So I knew I wouldn't get hold of the doctors that day because they're absolutely useless. So I phoned them the next morning, and basically she said, we can't do naught about his ears. There's nothing wrong with him. We cannot find nothing wrong with him other than the tinnitus. And this wasn't the tinnitus what was bothering him. This was earache again. So she just said, carry on with Calpol. And I'm like, I don't want to keep giving him Calpol. He's putting stuff in his body that I don't want to keep putting in what he's going to get used to. Anyway, I carried on with that, and then a couple of hours later, if he started again, we gave him some ibuprofen. But then he wouldn't eat because of his ulcers. So I thought, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to phone the dentist. I don't know what day that was. So I phoned the dentist at whatever day it was, and they didn't have any emergencies. But they did book him in for the day after. The Wednesday, the week after the Wednesday, he went at 12:25. Now, Troy's got dental phobia like myself, but Dave said he were really good. He sat in the chair. Sophia explained what she were doing and that lot. And she said she thinks he's got some vitamin deficiency going on, and that could be why he's getting the ulcers. Now, back 3 years ago, I think it was, Troy had a blood test from St. Luke's under the paediatrician, and he was on, I can't even remember what were wrong with him, but he was on all sorts of medication for what came back on the bloods. Now, we've never had a repeated blood test after that, and obviously the medication stopped. It wasn't on repeat or anything at the doctor's. So he's not adult since. The only thing, I don't know where they are, the only thing we are giving him at the moment is vitamins, Bassets, the chewable blackcurrant ones, which he'll take. And I'm crossing fingers that he's been all right for now. He's eating well, he's drinking, he's doing what he should be. So anyway, the Wednesday night, we decided to go to Skegness. And on the Friday, I think it was, we went and met Kat in Skegness, and were ill at the time. So we met Kat, we had a McDonald's, went to arcade, spent some time with Kat, went back to Caravan, and Dave had come over that day, and we didn't come home well Saturday, whatever time it was. And that's all that. Now, prior to that, 2 weeks ago today, I had to phone the vet up because Scooby had been put on heart tablets, and the Sunday morning on the 26th, I said to Dave, his breathing's not right, and he still wasn't eating, he was refusing to eat. I said, his breathing's not right. So I took a video. I managed to get hold of the vets later on, and they said, can you fetch him straight up? And I went, yeah. Now, obviously, I don't normally like going in because I don't like watching what they do. And I went in, and obviously they'd seen how much weight he'd lost, and that was the main concern. She put him on the table, she listened to his heart, she listened to the back end of him, and his pulses were quite faded. And she basically said, we can fetch him home, and she didn't know how long he'd have, but he would have an heart attack at some point, and I'd find him, or whoever would find him. Or the other thing were, you know, to put him to sleep, because he wasn't eating and he was losing so much weight. So I made the harsh decision to do what I thought would be right for Scooby. Now, bearing in mind, I did not want this to happen, and Dave wasn't allowed in. So I contemplated, do I get Dave in? Do I go out anyway? I stayed with him, and they give him a sedation and put him on the table. Now, to me, he seemed to fight that sedation, and then I'm singing his favourite song, Rockabye Baby, and then you can start seeing him wobble, and he just lies down and he's gone into a deep sleep. All the while, I'm blubbering my bloody eyeballs out. And they come back in and they said, right, it's time. And they injected, and within a second, that was it. He were gone. So I'm heartbroken. I got some leaflets off him. I wanted him cremating, which he did go to Cambridgeshire to be cremated, because they were picked up from vets. And I went outside, and Dave knew, because I had God knows how many tissues in my hand. He went, no. I went, yeah. I saw a bit Dave, so I off actually, to tell you the truth. I did apologise later. So I bubbled all day that day, and I were down for a few days after, and I'd made the arrangements to get his ashes back in a casket with his name on, which were £120. And he came back with a sympathy card. So he passed on the 26th, he were cremated on the 28th, and he came back the Monday after. So he's now upstairs in my bedroom, and sounds stupid, but I give his box a kiss every night and stuff, and he's got his teddies he used to play with up there. So that were a trying time, because I just didn't expect him to go downhill so quick. Sweet Pea does bark a lot if there's no one around. I mean, Kitten sometimes keeps her company, but she does bark and pine. We have decided against getting another dog. Then we've also, me anyway, has also found out some upsetting news today. Something to do with someone on the street. I'm not going to say too much. It's not my place. I might do another video later explaining things, but I don't want to say too much now. So I was upset this morning when I found out that, and there were a few tears shed, and etc, etc. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a, I won't say a mood, I just don't know, I'm a bit down at the moment. But, you know, I've got Troy here and etc, and everybody else, and I'm watching that Squid Game still. Everyone else seems to have flown past me. I'm only on number 3. But it's like I said to Dave, I said, I can't sit and just watch a programme all day or whatever, which Dave doesn't, by the way. He generally watches on a night when he can't sleep. I've got to move. I've just got to move. I can't just sit in one spot, although people think that's all I do. Another thing is, Troy wanted the TV in the room up on the wall on Friday afternoon. So we went and bought a bracket, and Dave put that up on the wall and moved a few things around in the room, so that's looking all right. And then because my neighbour's got a plaque on her wall saying number whatever and whatever name. Troy wanted a plaque on ours. So I ordered one with our number and the Parkinson's. When's it coming, Mum? I said, it's coming Tuesday, son. So he's happy about that child. He's happy about that. So when he sees that up, he's going to be even happier. And then he said, can we get one of them post box things what stick on your wall? I said, well, we actually had one of them when we first moved in here. I said, but they weren't putting the post through correctly and it were getting wet through and you couldn't read what it'd say on it. So I said, we'll see. Anyway, other than that, the weather were beautiful yesterday. Today it has been sunny. And as you can see, I'm in a jumper. I have actually been freezing to the point that I've got the blooming heating on. And Dave's like, oh, it's warm in here. And I'm like, well, I'm not warm, I'm cold. So that's update and everything so far. Watching Kitten, she's after even a moth or a fly or something. She's up at window. She's 6 months old now. So we've got to get her booked in for Spain. So anyway, hope you're all safe and well and keeping safe and well. After the news I found out today, just remember, try and be kind. There's always somebody out there what's going through worse things that other people are going through, is what I'm trying to say. And a lot worse things than I'm going through at the moment. So take care, guys, and goodbye.